My Ball. My name is Nick. This is Christian Ertel and Luke Ayub with me here today. We're going to be reviewing what happened last weekend in the Premier League, all 10 games. We're 10 weeks into the Premier League, so we're going to have a couple middle sections. Who's going to impress us over the next 5? Who stinks still? Who's going to possibly make it out of relegation, this and that. Then we're going to predict what's going to happen next week, and stink of the week and player of the week as always, as well as a player for the month of October.
I got a couple of teams that still stink. We'll get to that.
First game from last weekend, Crystal Palace versus Tottenham. It was 2-1 Spurs. Really wasn't that close. Could have been 3-0, could have been 2-0, whatever. But Son and Madison still inevitable 10 weeks into the Premier League. So they're still flying.
Madison looked really, really good in this one, especially setting up, I think it was Son's goal, the Brennan Johnson assist. But Spurs benched Udogie for this game. I don't know if that was because of health or for other reasons. But they benched Udogie, started Ben Davies, and had Basuma back this week from his red card suspension. And I thought Spurs started really, really slow in this game. Nothing really notable in the first half. They created a few chances, all really tame efforts. And really that's kind of been the story of Spurs' last 4 games, in my opinion. I think they've started really, really slow.
It was a quick turnaround for Spurs. I was interested to see how they reacted to that. A little bit slow, but it wasn't the prettiest win, but that second goal was about as pretty as it gets. So if you can produce one of those chances, well-worked goal against a team like Palace, you'll probably get another goal that's maybe a little bit just because you're a higher quality team, and they play solid defense for 90 minutes. And they really did play solid defense for 90 minutes outside that Jordan Ayew finish. That was just a really good shot. So, yeah, just, look at the positives. They got 3 points out of the game, which is what they're supposed to do, and they keep on turning.
Yeah, and like we already mentioned before, Madison involved in both goals. The first one, he rocketed the ball in, and just a knee-jerk reaction from Joe Ward, just unlucky in my opinion. Could have done better, but when it's coming that quick, it's a little bit hard to react. And then the second goal, setting up Brendan Johnson.
That sucks for him.
Yeah. But on the IU goal, beautiful ball from Anderson from the other side of the field, and then just great finish from IU. I think they went to VAR to review it because there was like a little bit of a handball, but I don't think it was enough to really affect the play and call it back. So I thought it was good that they let the goal stand.
I'm fine with that, but it's also a fine line. Like it could be a more crucial situation and something like that happens, and it's your team, it's Newcastle, and then ref, come on now.
We got a pretty favorable call this week, but we'll get to that one later. But Crystal did kind of turn on late in this game, a little bit too late, but they had a young kid sub on, França, I think was his name, and he had a good chance late, but he skied it. But yeah, they didn't look too bad later in the game. I think Spurs in the next few weeks might start to struggle a little bit if they might not get away with starting as slow as they have against some of the teams that they'll play coming up.
I didn't see the handball. I'm usually almost always on the side of that's a handball. I don't know why it's not. I wish I would have seen it.
It like the way that it deflected off of it, like it hit his chest, and then it kind of I think it kind of hit his arm a little bit, but it didn't affect the ball really at all.
Was this on the IU goal?
Yes, on the IU goal.
Oh yeah, okay, I saw that.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have wanted there. But yeah, like Luke said, it's all about what you need in that situation. But yeah, Madison, Son don't look any less impressive than they have all year. There seems like they're starting to be able to play with their food and it not really matter, but it's not a good time to start really testing that theory. So they ought to have some more urgency earlier in the game or the next 5 games.
What's his face's is really good. Vicario.
Yeah, Vicario had some great saves in this game.
Yeah, especially early on. Like very underrated piece of their start so far this year.
No doubt.
Yeah. He's from some like random team in Italy, man. Just
Italians are so solid in goalkeeper.
So solid in goal. Ruffon's got them boys trained. Let's move to the second game though. Chelsea versus Brentford. 2-0 win for Brentford. I had a draw predicted on this one. I didn't think that they would actually steal all three, but I'll turn it over to you, Miguez.
Luke, you want it? This is your team.
Yeah, I mean, we got guys. A lot of guys doubt us a lot of the time. Yeah, another team from West London likes to doubt us a lot. Brentford came out, played defensive. They weren't going to penetrate that 5-back. It never really seemed like it.
Yeah,
they just don't have the finishing quality. I don't even think they have the get to the point where it's an easy finish quality.
And it's not like they're bad
These
chances.
Guys can run.
They're really good chances. I mean,
These
Cole
guys
Palmer
can run, but they're not lethal like that. They're just not.
No, we don't have anybody lethal, honestly.
I mean, that Cole Palmer created 3 really good chances in the first half, and I mean, like chances that should be getting put away, and they're just not.
Yeah, Nicholas Jackson's not gonna. He's told us, not with words, but with everything else, that he's not going to step up and start finishable ones. Woke up 2-0. That's what I saw, which is just disgusting. Like, makes you sick. And then look a little into it. 0-0 to the 60th or whatever. And then in the last second of the game, we send the keeper up, makes it 2-0. But yeah, and then when you look in what happened early in the game, we're creating plenty. In this game, we created 2 point-blank chances in the first half.
The Cucurella one was bad.
The Cucurella was right, like
well,
right in the center of the
on that one. He should have laid it off to, I don't know who it was.
I think he had somebody do his left,
chested it down or something.
If he had the attacking presence of mind to do he's such a spaz. I mean, which is tough to deal with trying to attack him. But whenever he's going up against you, you just wait for him to make a mistake. He's not sound. He's definitely not a clinical finisher. But he did happen to get one of our chances. But I mean, a Premier League level person should do what it takes to get a goal right there. It seems like Cole Palmer and sometimes Enzo are just putting it on a platter, and whoever it is on the other end is taking it for granted. But I mean, the Cucurella goal goes in, and then the next one goes in. Just the Cucurella, I'll take just the Cucurella one, and then it's like, how's Brentford gonna?
Yeah, they would have been chasing the game.
If those go in, you got a tied ball game.
Yeah, whole different game. If that one goes in, how's
Brentford would have been chasing the game at that point.
Come back from 1-0. Anyway, not seeing the fight we need to turn the entire, not just the season, but the franchise around. So yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for our next win. It's going to be in December against Manchester United.
I thought they all had some pretty good chances early and late. Also, Enzo was out of this game from getting a knock in training, so Cole Palmer dropped into the midfield, played a little bit deeper, which I don't think really helped them at all. I think
no, it's just
Cole Palmer up top.
Just results in less chances being created. Yeah. I mean, he did all he could from that position.
Yeah, he really. I mean, he was immense even from that position. Madueke had a good shot that went off the crossbar early in the game. But yeah, Brentford really only had about one good chance in the first half. Aaron Hickey miscontrolled it, didn't really get anything out of it.
Wouldn't even call it a good. Can't even call it a good chance.
I mean, that was really the only chance. It was the only thing really near a chance.
Anything resembling a chance.
And then the first goal for Brentford was just terrible marking from Disasi.
I think they just didn't want it enough. I don't think when you have 2 guys going at it. Actually, there's 3 Chelsea guys there. None of them wanted it more than him.
Yeah, Pinnock is one of the most threatening dudes in the air for Brentford as well. So I just don't know. I just don't really understand how 3 dudes kind of just let him get lost and everything.
It was definitely a 3v2 on that back post. Nobody was expecting Brentford to have 3 back there. And Disasi was our right back who's supposed to be covering whoever's back there. But he's center back naturally, so he drifts in and covers whoever's in the center just naturally, I guess. That's what he did that time. But Noni Madueke, our right wing, is the only one who recognized the overload of Brentford players on the back post, and Luke's right, lack of wanting it from him, and then just lack of awareness from supposed to be one of our best center backs, even though he's playing out of position at right back. And then also at the same time, how often it's very often, several times a game, where somebody gets the ball where Mbeumo did, or no, where Mawupe or did, or whatever his name is. No, it was Mbeumo on the assist. Yeah, it happens a lot where Mbeumo gets the ball right there, and 99% of the time he's fizzing it hard on the ground or chest level or head level hard to the middle of the 6. Never does it go 30 feet in the air, looping ball, just landing on the back post. You almost never see that happen.
Yeah, beautiful ball, but I don't think he meant to do it.
If Sanchez was 7'6", he might have gotten there.
Yeah,
yeah.
There was a couple chances by Brentford in the second half. They did the most dangerous play in soccer. Took it baseline, cut it back towards the 6. I don't see Chelsea doing that. The wingers are just not doing that.
Yeah. Raheem just wants it all.
Usually go down the baseline, maybe cut it in, cut it back out, and go for a nice little tumble, and then they get nothing.
Yep.
They just don't. The objective in Chelsea's mindset is not to score goals. It's to look good and draw penalties at this point.
Yeah, that's what it seems. It doesn't seem like there's anybody that wants to score goals more than anything else, just wants to score goals. You need somebody like that. You need 1 or 2 people like that wants to score goals at all costs.
Mm-hmm. I think after the first goal from Brentford
feels like Karen.
I think after the first goal from Brentford, it was going to be extremely hard to get a goal after that anyway. They were already playing a 5-back. They packed it in even more, and then they were just trying to hit y'all on counters. They did have a good chance before the second goal that Sanchez had a great save on. And then obviously they bring him up on that corner, and Mbeumo scores on the counterattack to make it 2-0. But
classy move by Mopai, giving that goal to Mbeumo. He could easily, just put it away. Said, "Here you go, buddy."
Of him. But pretty much story of the season for Chelsea, just tame efforts in front of goal. Pretty much all game. Let's move to the Bournemouth versus Burnley game, though. 2-1 win for Bournemouth. Bournemouth finally takes the lead and retains it. Awesome for them. I showed a little bit of discipline even in this game. They had a goalkeeper that made his first Premier League start of the season. But really, really good start from them. Semenyo won the ball in the attacking third. Only had O'Shea to beat. He didn't really step up to him, so he finished nicely bottom corner. What y'all got on this one?
Oh, what a rip by Charlie Chuck Taylor.
Wow.
Coming out hot for Burnley. You thought it might be their day, but it just quite wasn't. I think it was a close game, though. And I think that Jay Rodriguez offsides.
Yeah, dude. That's tough. By
naked eye, that looks pretty good.
And naked eye, he was onside, but
even VAR, it was like, we're talking
centimeter. Yeah, by his kneecap.
Yeah.
By the depth of his kneecap is about how far he was off.
But the first goal by Bournemouth, this is a theme of this weekend. Just being silly with the ball in your own half when they're pressing. That's just not – these teams just aren't learning. They're just not learning.
So, it seems to be a big theme of this weekend, this year, and the last couple years.
Yeah, since the press got very, I guess, big.
Yeah. Both of Burnley's goals came off of just real sloppy play. Second goal, beautiful by Philip Billing. I don't think it was him that I don't think Billing intercepted the pass from Vitinho, their right back, and then from right inside the halfway line, chips the keeper. Keeper got a hand on it, but just not enough. Still goes in, and that was the game-winning goal for them. Much needed for Bournemouth. I mean, they were starting to really sink.
Yeah, Chuck Taylor, good job. This might be the first real goal that I've seen out of the 3 teams that got promoted, other than a Lyle Foster counterattack. Anything else is just a scrap fight shit show in the box, and somebody just kicks it in off their thigh. So I claps for Chuck Taylor there.
And Burnley loves scoring that first goal and then losing, man.
Yeah, and it was 1-1 for 50 minutes of play, and then I'd say, Solanke's good, but I'd say that one of the only guys on the field that's Premier League standard quality was the point of difference, and he took the ball himself, looked up, took it on himself, and he was the 1 goal difference.
Yeah, Billing for sure, extremely quality player. I think if Bournemouth were to get relegated, he'd for sure get picked up by somebody in the Prem and contribute pretty well to him. Y'all got anything else on this one?
No, just big win for Bournemouth.
Yeah. Speaking of big wins, let's move to the Arsenal versus Sheffield United game. 5-0 win for Arsenal, and Edward Nketiah gets his first Premier League hat trick for the Gunners.
Man, he looks good wearing that 14, huh?
Wow.
Feeling the legacy, huh?
Wow. A little bit of Thierry came out of him.
I ain't never ever seen you act like that before.
Yeah.
Eddie.
The first goal was pretty lucky. Declan Rice, I don't think that he was meaning to do that.
I'm a Declan Rice guy. That was
he
pretty cheap.
Put it right through Buddy's legs.
But he put it, it was in a dangerous spot,
Nketiah took it well, great on the turn, great finish.
It was a good touch.
Yeah. The second one, it was poor handling from Fotheringham off of a corner. And then it fell right to Nketiah. Pretty easy goal from him, but he smashed it home. And then the third Nketiah goal, man, to seal the hat trick. Beautiful. What a strike, man. Gets it right outside the D, turns and just throttles it. I think it was top left. Beautiful finish. I did not know that his game was like that. I was unfamiliar.
He made it look like he was going far, and he came back near. Oh,
the ball and everybody on the field were shifting right, and he just get it hard right back to the top near post.
I'd say that's
I as well owe Eddie Nketiah an apology. I was not familiar with his game.
I think that's the. Oh,
no, you're good. You're good. I kind of just learned that, oh man, Eddie Nketiah, he's good at his instinctual placement of his body is pretty good. And he's fast twitch. If there's a ball in the middle of the box and 5 people around it, but nobody really that close to it, he'll be the first one there and get a shot off real quick. And that's I'm appreciating him now for that and putting more value on just being fast twitch to the ball. Over
I wasn't really,
other things.
Yeah, I wasn't really down on him. I just thought, Jesus was just better. He's been there before. He did more playing time, but those were 3 legit striker finishes there.
I think that's the first game that
different ways almost.
Yeah. I think that's the first game that I've seen Nketiah where it didn't look like he was just benefiting from being in a really, really good Arsenal team and kind of being in the right place at the right time a few times in a game, maybe. He took it over. He made it his game. That's the first time that I've really seen him do that. And kudos to him, man. He looked great.
That's so big for Arsenal. If they got a confident striker,
especially at backup, and Jesus, since he's gotten there, man, he's been injured. I think more than he's played. So Nketiah being able to step up and bang hat tricks in. I know that it's against Sheffield, who's the worst team in the league, but nonetheless, great performance from him, man.
Take a bow, Eddie. Take a bow.
Yeah, He's gonna be huge for them, and also if Emil Smith Rowe can keep just being decent enough, just not getting in the way, that's gonna be huge, night and day difference between Havertz and him.
Yeah,
two huge guys could step up for them.
The fourth goal for Arsenal was a PK. I thought that at that point it was the captain that gave away.
This? You see this emoji?
The
see
horn?
this emoji up here? Just got a transfer talk alert. Brentford want $121 million for Ivan Toney amid Arsenal.
Holy shit.
Wow. And we were hearing 61. They almost doubled their price tag.
Wow.
No issue.
Yeah, Chelsea. They probably saw Chelsea play. They played against Chelsea this weekend. So man, y'all are kind of poor at striker. Y'all,
that's the price tag for Chelsea.
How desperate are y'all? How bad y'all want
them? 140.
How bad do you want it? 70 would feel like a good price for Tony.
But I mean, he's got
121.
If Chelsea's bidding for him, I would.
Yeah, 121 from Chelsea, but like 70 from anyone else.
I would shake that ass for Chelsea.
It's that Chelsea tax.
That Chelsea tax. There's the English tax, English inflation of it, and then there's the
Chelsea tax.
God, we thank God Arsenal got Declan Rice. We would have paid 160 for him.
Yeah,
English plus.
Y'all were trying to get him, right?
No, we didn't. If we wanted to, we obviously would have got him.
It was between Arsenal and who though? Liverpool. There's another team.
For who?
No, it was City. It was City.
City.
Yeah. That was stupid. Anyway.
The fourth goal that Arsenal got came from a PK. I think they gave it to Vieira. It was kind of like another Havertz penalty. I don't think he scored this year, so they gave it to him, slotted it away. But I thought it was just a dumb tackle. It was by the captain of Sheffield too, just losing your cool at that point in the game, down 3-1. I just thought that was extremely dumb from the captain. And then the fifth goal, Tomiyasu did fantastic to hold a defender off, turn and dink a little shot in off of a corner.
Happy for that kid. Happy for him. But yeah, it's not looking like it's getting any better for Sheffield. They're not improving.
Yeah.
Like the other teams in the relegation battle. And I'll touch on that later. But
I don't really see where I think they could go winless, to be honest. I just don't see where they're going to pick one up.
There's always somebody.
Maybe like home versus Luton. But other than that.
Somebody with the illness, something in the beans in the morning breakfast. It's just, you never know.
Yeah. I thought that one good little spot for Sheffield. I thought Fotheringham had a decent game. I know that he conceded 5 goals.
Yeah.
But he did have
some good saves.
He had some really good saves. It could have easily gotten to 6 or 7. But I mean, they were just on the back foot from the time that the first whistle blew. So there was really nothing that he could do.
Yeah, I don't think he could possibly have I don't think he really could have saved any of Nketiah's goals.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I think he might have gotten unlucky on the second one to not get a foul called on the person. I think it was Ben White was kind of all over him. But yeah. I mean, he got a hand on it, so play ball. All right, let's move to the Newcastle versus Wolves game. 2-2 draw. Fucking dog shit. Probably our worst game of the year, not gonna lie. Had a extremely high octane Champions League game versus Dortmund earlier in the week. Congratulations to Luke on the 1-0 win there. That's massive for Dortmund. Well deserved. But we lost Jacob Murphy and Alexander Isak in that game. So a little bit shorthanded on this game. Callum Wilson got the start.
Don't blame that guy. Don't blame that guy.
No,
that guy's been questioned a lot.
He was good, man. He was good. The first goal, the bicycle kick off the deflection and everything, really good. He's for sure my second choice. I think he's a better out and out just finisher than Isak, but in terms of everything else, Isak is better. dribbling, passing, positioning. I think that Isak has him beat on all that. So I think we're really going to miss him. But right after we scored that first goal, we just lost all momentum, and I didn't feel any safer being up 1 goal, really at all. And then about 10 minutes later, Pedro Neto off of a corner. I mean, this guy. I mean, he's leading the league in assists. He's just. You're not going to stop him. He's going to rear his head in the game at some point. You're not gonna. He's going to affect the game in some way. And unfortunately, it was late in this game. I don't exactly know the minute, but he was on a run down the right side, and I don't think anyone challenged him or anything. He just pulled up, and it looked like it was a hamstring injury, so didn't look good at all. He got subbed off, and yeah, thoughts to Pedro Neto, man. Wishing him a speedy recovery. I hate to see that.
Yeah, for sure. On paper, I don't think this is a terrible result. I think Wolves. Yeah. I think we all agree Wolves are a little bit better than their standing throughout most of this year has shown.
Yeah, they've definitely come alive these last few weeks. That's for sure. Especially, I mean, that City one is what kickstarted them, in my opinion.
Yeah. I look more into this game though. I think Newcastle looked good early up until that first goal, like you said. But that second goal, I think that was a little soft.
It was soft, man. It was Charmin soft.
But again, Wolves were being very stupid playing in the back like that. I mean, it was Wang. It was Wang.
I mean, I think it was Wang just trying to get the ball out, and I mean, he just didn't see Shar coming up behind him, and he barely nicked him. He barely nicked him.
Very complacent with the ball, though.
Yeah,
and yeah. The other thing I would say, on this very podcast, I was questioned. Does Newcastle have the best back four in the league? They look not that great this game.
They looked tired, man, and rightfully so, in my opinion. I that same back line played a full 90 minutes against a great Dortmund team and got tested and were running a lot. And I think it was 3 days we turned around and played this game against a Wolves team that doesn't have shit else going on. I think this was the first game that the wear and tear from playing midweek with Carabao and Champions League really started to show.
Yeah, I was never fully in on Newcastle having the best defense in the world, but if we're gonna give Spurs all the pats on the back in the world for playing a game on Monday and Friday, Newcastle is, if we're gonna give them pats on the back for that, Newcastle's fairly tired, very fairly
tired and fucking hurt.
Playing some of the most games with, I mean, not some of the best depth. It's the depth started to look good at the beginning of the year, and then quickly shows how serious some of these teams' seasons is. Yeah. But we lost this weekend. We kind of lost a constant in our lives. Honda Accords may not always make it to 150,000 miles. But we gained 2 more. Pedro Neto's always going to get that assist, and Hee-Chan Huang's always going to get that goal.
Yeah.
Personally, as a Honda Accord owner, I would not trade that one constant for these 2 constants that don't really affect me very much.
I agree as a Honda Accord owner.
But I mean, it was. Let me give you a breakdown about what happened this morning. I go out there, key fob's not working. I take out the physical key, can't even open the fucking door.
No.
Imagine that. And it's freezing. It's 45 degrees outside. It's windy. I'm already on track to be 30 minutes late to work. Who do you call? You call Mark. What do I do, Mark? Mark, help me.
What did Mark say?
He said, well, you got to call Papa Lock. Papa Lock guy came in. He was a total dick. So one last thing. When I open when he pops the door open, horn goes off. And as I said, key fob's not working. There's no turning this horn off. And the guy's like, why don't you stop it? I said, key's not working. He said, damn, that sucks, bro. He just gets in his car and leaves. Damn, that's tough. Anyway, yeah, Pedro Neto, back to that guy. He can play. Hope he gets back soon.
It actually did look. I'm not on the side of giving players the benefit of the doubt if they go down crying, but it actually looked. This is the first time all year that I'm going to say it actually looked as bad as he was making it.
Yeah, I think he fucked his hamstring up pretty bad.
Yeah, and if he's out, they're back down to what everybody thought they were going to be before the season. Right back.
I would agree, man, but he does create so many chances. But Huang has just done so well with just finishing. But yeah, I mean that's the best player on the team. It's going to be a massive, massive hit to them. So they could struggle for sure in the next 5 weeks. But the second goal they scored was beautiful. Tati Gomez did great to fend off Gordon. Slotted Huang in. He dropped Dan Burnoff at school and then finished past Nick Pope. But
yeah, it was a close finish.
We played our worst game all season and we came away with a draw. Which I mean, 11 out of the last 17 games, we've had a draw against Wolverhampton in the Premier League. So it's not the worst result in the world. We got a good win today over Man United in the Carabao Cup, and we rested a fuckload of players. Great game from. I just want to give a quick shout out: Tino Livramento, Lewis Hall, and Joe Williquinho finally back on the score sheet. Love to see it from the kid. But yeah. Also, one more little tidbit on Wolves. Hwang Hee-chan is off to the best Wolverhampton Premier League start in 50 years.
As far as this many goals through 10 games?
Yes.
He's got 6.
Probably goal contributions, if I had to guess. I mean, he might have an assist or 2. But yeah, best Wolves start in 50 years.
Yeah, he's a player. Newcastle's unis look cool, which will make me transition into the West Ham Everton game. I like those Everton Silvers as well.
Ooh, big 1-0 win for Everton this weekend.
Huge.
It really always felt. I think going into this game, you probably could have predicted that the first team to score was probably going to win the game. Probably just pack it in and just make it hard for the other team to get any space. But start of the game, in my opinion, was all West Ham. They had 3 really good chances that I thought Pickford did amazing to save.
Yeah.
What do y'all think?
I didn't have much to say on this game. West Ham just weren't taking their chances like they usually do. Jared Bowen usually finds the net. Didn't do it today. Calvert-Lewin took his chance very well.
Beautiful finish from him. Great turn, great finish.
Yeah.
Good to see him back healthy, getting goals for Everton. Sure,
those
Everton
those were exactly my takeaways from the game. I mean, usually West Ham's accustomed to getting that looping ball in that goes 50 yards in the air from Paqueta, and then Jared Bowen usually just has his arms out, closes his eyes, and dives into the box. He usually goes off his head in the goal.
Yeah.
They're accustomed to having that pretty early on and then just packing it in, but they didn't get it. So when Everton doesn't get that, and then you got to take away West Ham's crazy first 2 chances goals that they usually get, and then you got 2 teams where all it takes is one good turn and one good shot to decide the game. And it was impressive. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. There's not a lot of people that have the instincts to know where the guys are behind you. He's not thinking about any of this. It's all instincts. He gets the ball, body shift his weight this way without looking, kicks it back this way, and has an accurate shot. Very impressive. And that's all it took in this game.
Great goalkeeper play in this game as well. I think 2 of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. Areola had a really, really good save on Doucouré in the 60th to save it from being 2-0 and keep West Ham in the game. And then last 15 minutes of the game, West Ham was just peppering Everton's goal. And Pickford was phenomenal. I cannot say
he's going to show up for it.
He was phenomenal, man. To keep the 3 points and the clean sheet, I thought that Pickford was the man of the match by far.
I think Pickford honestly loves those games.
I think
he's protecting a 1-0 lead. That's his favorite type of game.
He loves that gritty. Just loves being in the trenches.
loves making a save and spending 20 seconds on the ground, hugging the ball.
That's the new age English goalkeeper for you.
All righty, let's move on to the Aston Villa versus Luton Town game. 3-1 win for Aston Villa. Villa's absolutely flying right now. Luton really didn't look like. I think Luton's first chance. Okay, no, it wasn't this game. Their first decent chance came late in the first half. It was really all Aston Villa in the first half. First goal from John McGinn, beautifully executed corner from Aston Villa. I think was it a 2? Was that a St. Louis 2 right there through the legs, or is that 3? That's 3. Sorry, that's 3. That's my bad. But yeah, first person left it, and then McGinn got on to it. Great, makes one person miss, I believe, and then great finish. What else y'all got?
McGinn looks like he's got tighter hips than me.
Yeah.
That pump fake he did on Lockyer was, I cannot believe Lockyer went for that.
Yeah.
There's no way this kid has any power in his left foot, and Lockyer went flying.
Those hips are wide and tight.
It's on his right foot, which also looked super fucking weak, and he barely got in the net. That was so bad by Lockyer, but
what's all this John McGinn slander?
Oh my God.
I don't know. I got a lot of slander for my hips.
He's got some big tight hips. That's for damn sure.
He's got. I mean, I feel him at the same time because he did get the ball in the net. It's impressive with those tight hips, but get this guy a yoga mat.
Me stretching that out.
Kaminsky was keeping him in the game early for Luton.
I don't know why I did not have the same takeaway from that. I thought John McGinn looked athletic as fuck on that.
You can go into the second half. He had another chance similarly, and it just the ball went like half a mile per hour off his foot. Like it was just, and it was so tight. Ugh.
Missed that one.
Their second goal was pretty good though. Laid it off to Digne. Digne had a great cross in. Somebody headed it back to Diaby, who just fired it bottom right.
Diaby took his chances very well.
Yeah.
The third goal was
game
really,
from him. Oh, it counted as an own goal, but
there's nothing he could do. The guy was right behind him, was going to finish it if he didn't.
Yeah.
The ball over the top
because of the momentum of the ball. I think it was going in. Anyway, I don't know.
I think it might. I don't know if it would have crossed the line. I think he just kind of put it out in front, and Lockyer hit it in. But nonetheless, amazing from him. Beautiful ball from Kamara over the top. He did great to control it and put it across. And then Lockyer knocked it in. But, I mean, terrific from Diaby against Luton. And then I thought Kaminsky, Luton's goalkeeper, he had some really good saves in the first half. They were just getting peppered from this Villa team. They were all over him. And then Luton got a little consolation goal late in the game. Andros Townsend played a ball into Adebayo. And then it was actually headed onto goal by Konsa. And then it hit off the crossbar and off of Martinez's head into the goal. So kind of a double own goal. I think it was credited to Martinez, but it was definitely Konsa's fault.
Yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and give it to Adebayo because he said weight room on that one. He's done that a couple times this year already.
That first header, he definitely got it. He said weight room.
Yeah. I would say if I'm going to, like what I was saying earlier about Sheffield, Luton just look like they're getting more confident, though. Mm-hmm. Like they look like feel like they're supposed to be here. I think they did defend fairly well, and then they still they're playing soccer. Like they're going down the line when they're supposed to be going. They're taking on people when they're supposed to be doing that. Yeah. They're sending in crosses that are pretty good. They're good on set pieces. And they very much are trying to defend their very best. They're spending most of their effort on that end.
Yeah, definitely the most impressive team that got promoted, in my opinion.
Yeah. Ollie Watkins had 2 chances that he didn't finish, and that's very unusual. But credit to Kaminsky.
So. Yeah, Kaminsky had great saves on him. Y'all got anything else on this game?
No, just tough outing from podcast main man, our star boy Tom Lockyer.
Yeah,
the captain.
I have written down.
Tough outing for that guy. We
tough.
hate to see that. We love that guy, but
bad day for the ponytails.
Bad day for the ponytails, but Aston Villa is, one of the last not that any of these goals came directly from a counterattack, say, but they're the last team you want to see on a counterattack, and they're one of those teams that can just from their profiles up top, create something out of nothing in
especially
the quickest amount of time. Yeah, Diaby,
he's scary,
Leon Bailey, super underrated. And obviously Ollie Watkins. Those three guys just make athletic plays, the right sports play a lot of times.
All righty, let's move to the Brighton versus Fulham game. 1-1 draw. I thought it was a pretty good result for Fulham, only having 29% of the possession. Anthony Robinson had a weird game in this one. He was like really good early on. He had a great ball into Jimenez that he flicked onto Iwobi, but Iwobi just lost it. Could have easily been a great chance. And then for the Brighton goal, he just completely left Ferguson onside right behind him. And it was an easy pass and not an easy goal, but I mean, he was uncontested. Pretty easy for that
guy. Yeah, that was poor. That was poor. Definitely poor marking, but something to say. You can't. I don't want to fully discredit Evan Ferguson. I feel like I'm on one of the kind of not on his side as far as him being worth 150 million, even though that's not him that chooses that. Haven't been very high on Evan Ferguson, and the center back did kind of turn his back on him, but there is something to say about his instincts, staying there, how to accept it, and how quickly to shoot. At 18, we see a lot of strikers in their mid-20s, late 20s with not as good of instincts as him. So just wanted to shout out to Evan Ferguson's striker's instincts.
Guys that are in their late 20s that have played championship level ball, went to a slightly lower team that might have valued him more and just not producing the same amount. Switched to dreadlocks from the little fro. Played on a team without a sponsor for the first 5 games this year. But this guy has that instinct. He made it simple and he just scored the goal.
He almost got another one before half as well.
To Fro. You lost me on who that was.
Someone was Sterling.
Okay. I was thinking about who on Chelsea. I knew it was going to be Chelsea, but who had played for a championship team?
I was thinking championship. I shouldn't have said champ. I meant City championship level.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was should have known.
But I think Brighton still looks pretty damn good this game. I think it's kind of an unfair result.
Yeah.
And I think they make things a little complicated sometimes, and that the
Maybe
Ferguson
a little bit too much.
Really simple actually, and they probably need to go through him a little more. I think they try to go wide a little too much.
Yeah, through Matoma more.
But yeah, they just need to shake it up a little bit. Anthony Robinson with a really good block at the end of the game.
Yeah, goal line clearance to save the point. And both goalkeepers in this game, really, really good games, like the West Ham and Everton game. Leno had a really, really good save on a Dingra inside the 6 in the 7th minute. And then Steele had a great save late on a Muniz. I think it's Muniz chance. I think he scored a goal today for Fulham. He looked all right.
Yeah. Definitely agreed on Brighton's got a maybe, I don't know what the deal exactly is, but maybe take themselves in that style of play that they've created and put the world onto, take themselves a little bit less serious with that and just put their head down and play ball like Luke said. Because if not, you're going to play Fulham and all it's going to take is one guy getting the ball, Japolini, and turn quickly and test the keeper, see what happens. Yeah. And all of a sudden,
it was a good finish.
Beautiful finish.
That ball was behind him, and he somehow still got a lot of power on.
And kept it low.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. I had shout out to Alex Iwobi on that goal. Did great to win the ball and then make a man miss to keep the ball, and then he played in Wilson, who played Paulinho, and great finish from him. And for Brighton this game, they rotated 6 players into the squad, so I wouldn't say that it's the worst result, but with how many shots they had and how much possession they had, yeah, definitely not the best.
I don't think it's a bad it's at home, but I think Fulham's a pretty good team. But just based on how they played, I feel like they deserved the 3 points. They didn't get it.
Yeah, but I mean, with how many players they rotated, I think it's not the worst result that they could have gotten. But both these teams had a lot of chances late, and both the defenses were just rock solid.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got anything else on this one?
No, sir.
All righty, let's move to the Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest game. No Luis Diaz in this game for Liverpool. Pretty scary situation. Both of his parents got kidnapped in Colombia, so he flew home. And I believe the last update that we got was that his mom got released and they're still looking for his dad. So still a pretty scary situation. No telling what's going to go on there. Whether or not they find his dad, I don't think they've given an update. But I don't understand why these dudes don't move their parents out of South America.
Yeah, making $500,000 a week.
Why aren't they living in Liverpool?
Or just moving to a decent part of the
maybe just
the
not in Colombia. You know,
there should be decent. There should be decent parts enough in Colombia,
like in any country.
It's not that bad.
I'm sure it's just maybe like a cartel or something trying to get money out of them. Who knows? I think they offered like 200 million pesos for the safe return of his parents. Mm-hmm. I don't know what that translates to.
I don't know what the value of a peso is these days.
Yeah.
10 to 1.
200 million is
back before COVID. I had a good feel for it, but yeah, not anymore.
It's probably not.
I think it's like 10 to 1.
Yeah, it's probably not crazy. So I mean,
but yeah, we're thinking about you, Louise. If you're listening, if you're tuning in.
Prayers to you and the fam, man.
Yeah.
Good to see Jota score the first goal and run over to the bench.
Yeah,
grab the Luis Diaz jersey. Remind everybody that there's bigger stuff going on out there.
I think there was just no way that you were going to be an inspired Liverpool side in this game, playing for their teammate and his family. That crowd was going to show up, and those players were going to show up. So, yeah,
it don't take nothing to inspire those guys anyway. I never see them play uninspired. Seems like.
I'm ready to say it. They're back.
I think they might be. I think the one thing that's kind of holding them back though is that Nunez is some of these shots. If they were just like 2 centimeters to the left or right, he would have maybe 4 more goals, and he would be considered like a world-class striker.
Way better than last year. Like,
no doubt.
The shots he's taking now, the shots he's actually like.
He's so close, man.
Are actually making the keeper have to make a save.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like on this one, it made Turner.
Yeah. Turner had to make a save there.
But it put it right into
just unlucky on that first one for Turner.
I was having ever since they paid whatever it was 88 million for him, I was having so much fun taking the piss out of him for the last 6 months. And now he's actually dangerous. And I don't mind seeing this either. Like one time, Mo Salah, who you trust to make the right decision every time he has the ball. Luke, it seems like you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But it was their second goal? It was the second goal.
No, it was the first goal.
It was the first. Yeah, it was the first goal. Yeah. Jota, the guy that ended up scoring, was more open. But Mo Salah chose to put it on Darwin Núñez's right foot at a worse angle than Jota had, because he knew Darwin was going to put it hard back post. And at the very worst, it was going to get kicked out to Jota, who Mo Salah saw was there.
Yeah, so you're saying Salah went like that meme with like the brains, and like he went like third level on that? Like he knew that was
yeah, there were three layers. three
I didn't even
layers
think
that he
about that.
saw
Out of body
through.
experience for Mo Salah on that pass.
Average Mo Salah play.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't doubt it. He is.
The second goal was a beautiful
Great.
ball from him again, man. Put his foot on top of the ball, and then beautiful quick ball down the line to Soboslai, who fired it back into Nunez for the goal.
Yeah.
The
Great
only thing
play
I
from
can
them,
compare
man.
that pass from Soboslai is like a quarterback dealing with like a terrible receiver, just putting it in his face mask. So there's no
As hard as he can.
yeah. There's nothing Nunez could do.
But he can't fuck it up.
And Nunez came so close to banking it off the crossbar from 2 feet away.
I didn't
it
see
went in
it.
the very roof of the net.
I didn't even see where the ball.
It almost went bar in. It almost went bar in the goal from 2 feet away.
Soboslai is so fucking
Just
good.
shove
He's
it
so
up,
good,
dude.
dude. You don't. Yeah,
the third goal from him, catching Matt Turner completely off his line, putting it on Mo Salah from that far, that accurately. That ball was beautiful.
It was a good ball. It wasn't.
That was more of a Matt Turner.
It wasn't what exactly he was trying to do, but he had definitely had great vision on that. Like noticing.
Yeah, I mean, completely caught Matt Turner. It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't any the special. The finish wasn't anything special because I mean, he completely caught Matt Turner out, but the pass was phenomenal.
Out of all, that's one of the couple notes I had on this. It was Dominic Szoboszlai, who's been better than this guy lately. Out of the two signings.
Yeah, it'd be out of them.
In the Premier League. It's James Maddison and Dominic Szoboszlai, and then there's a large gap, and it's probably Declan Rice.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, the Declan Rice is large gap when you consider price tag.
No, I was thinking there's probably one in between Declan and.
You were expecting me to say Cole Palmer?
No, I don't know. I would have to think about it a little more.
I mean, just off dome,
but that sounds about right to me.
That should be it. But yeah, you don't want to take away anything from Dominic Szoboszlai's that first assist. It was literally he couldn't have kicked it any later, sooner, more to the left or to the right. It wouldn't have resulted in a goal. But he did the only thing that would have possibly resulted in a goal there. But it was created by Mo Salah. Basically created all 3 goals himself today.
Yes.
He's now this was his 13th home Premier League game in a row, getting at least a goal or an assist. He could have had 2 or more in any of those games, but it's his 13th home game in a row, getting at least 1. And we're now at 17 goal contributions in his last 14 Premier League games, home or away.
Unplayable.
Unplayable. That's what that looks like in stats. Unplayable.
It's the Egyptian pharaoh right there.
And then
also
that Matt Turner goal. Matt, never mind.
I was gonna touch on that, Matt. I still love you, man. I still love you, dog.
Yeah. Bad mistake on that one, but I mean, you're already down 2-0. I thought overall, I think he had a great game. That was a terrible mistake that gave up the 3rd goal, but I mean, the first 2. That he didn't get much defensive cover in this game. Liverpool were peppering them pretty much the entire game.
Yeah, and make no mistake, nobody's feeling that mistake more than Matt himself.
The Nottingham's first shot on goal in this game was the last kick of the game. Literally the last kick of the game.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So Liverpool just completely bossed them around. Elanga smashed a ball off the crossbar in the 85th minute. That doesn't count as a shot on target, but that was their closest chance of the game. Yeah, you were never going to beat an inspired Liverpool side that was playing for Luis Diaz. It just wasn't going to happen. Yeah. All right, let's move to the game. Well, what we thought was going to be the game of the week, the Manchester Derby. 3-0 win for City. And pretty interesting lineup from Mr. Ten Hag. He started Lindelof and Johnny Evans over Rafael Varane and Sergio Reguilon. Didn't think that was really the smartest decision from him. They didn't start the game very bad though. The first half they had a few good chances. McTominay had a tame effort in the first minute. They had a goal line clearance early. I mean, City was on them pretty much the entire game, but they were doing well defensively to keep them out early on. But Yeah, the penalty that they drew, I don't agree with it at all.
I'm ready to say it. Chelsea are closer to being back than Man U is.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, 110%. 110%.
That's crazy.
Thank
It's
you.
so that's so
Crazy hearing from this guy.
It's because Chelsea actually have a style of play. Man United just Ten
Chelsea
Hag just
actually has a roof that doesn't leak.
Yeah, a roof that doesn't leak, an owner that like probably actually wants to see them succeed, money to spend, even though they spend a fuckload of money just on the wrong players. But yeah, the PK that United conceded in the first half, I thought that was just soft. It didn't affect the play at all. It was about 5 yards behind where the ball ended up being, where the ball was at. I think if you're going to call that as a penalty, you're going to have to call about one of those a game in each game, because that's it didn't affect the play. I just don't see what the point of calling that as a penalty was.
Yeah, I think it was blatant favoritism.
I will say one bright spot for Man U, Onana.
Onana looked great in the first half, man.
Onana's starting to tick up, and
yeah,
when I was back in my FIFA days, when I was building a manager mode team, the first thing I would do is look up high potential goalies, and I go buy one of them, and that was my foundation for the team. So maybe they can build out from this,
Yeah.
Besides that, kind of an old team. I don't know, man. It's not. I mean, McTominay, maybe a bright spot.
He hasn't looked very good. I mean, since they put him in the starting lineup, he hasn't really looked very good.
Other than his goal scoring.
I think early in the second half, Foden played Højlund in on accident. And he did well to make Ederson miss, but he just couldn't control it after that to get a shot on goal. And they ended up, I don't think they got a chance out of it really. And then I think McTominay also had a good he received a good long ball from Rashford, but just shot it right at Ederson. So McTominay, I think he's starting to trend down a little bit more, starting to lose that form that he had against Sheffield United.
He was in good form.
Yeah, Copenhagen.
Yeah. And Copenhagen as well, but City's just was just too much. I don't think Ten Hag did the team any favors fielding that back line. The second goal was terrible. Bernardo Silva just tiptoed down the left side on the touchline and then just dinked the ball over everybody to Erling Haaland on the backside. There was no one within probably 5 yards of Erling Haaland backside. I don't understand how that can happen at all. Dude who scored 56 goals last year, you're just going to leave him unmarked backside. But and then the last goal was, I think Rodri had a shot that that Onana parried right to Haaland, and then Haaland just put a ball right past him, and Foden finished it a lot like that Nunez goal. Yeah, just all around, it wasn't a very good performance from United towards the end of the game. Players were just fucking pouting. When the captain of your team for the last 10 minutes is pouting and fucking just fouling people for no reason more than he's actually playing ball in a game that the team is down 3-0, I think you have a really big problem. And you probably need to take the fucking armband off of him, because that was ridiculous.
I would have benched his ass way earlier, and I would have stripped the band off him way earlier.
It's ridiculous, man. To have that body language as the captain of Manchester United,
I agree.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
That's definitely my biggest takeaway as well from probably the whole United season. I've never been a Ten Hag fan. Like I'm not a fan. I hate Manchester United, but you want to see them at the top of England. Not at the very top, but competing for the top. But yeah, Ten Hag deserves to be under some scrutiny, which he is under a lot at this point right now.
Especially after the loss to Newcastle today.
Yeah, post cup games today on TV. I forget what it was, ESPN FC, but still 50% of it was talking about Ten Hag. So he's under heavy scrutiny. He fucked himself from the beginning, getting him to pay 80 million for Anthony. But it's definitely not all Ten Hag. It's when your two best guys on the field, who you're supposed to look to in every situation, spend 5% of their time creating some pretty good individual brilliance, and then the other 95% of the time pouting and pissed at the rest of their team. You're never gonna get anywhere.
Yeah,
it seems like the opposite of like I don't know, like a Spurs. Even the role players just wanted sacrificing their whole self for the team. I don't know. It just seems complete opposite what it's supposed to be.
No heart and no discipline.
Yeah. Really, the only two crazy gifted players on the team are just create just a black cloud for the rest of the guys. It's terrible to see.
We got anything else on this one? Anything else you want to talk about?
I'm done. I'm done talking about it.
All right.
They shouldn't get any more airtime on this podcast.
All right. Well, let's get to the player of the week for the game week 10. I'll start. Mine is going to be Jordan Pickford. Thought he was an absolute rock for Everton in this game. Did extremely well to keep the clean sheet for him. And 3 extremely needed points, man, especially with this talk of them losing 12 points. They're already at 10. I think even if they lost that 12 points, they might still be able to stay up with how this team's been looking, man. They've been fighting for Dyche. And
way that heart's pumping? Yeah.
I think with Jordan Pickford in goal, you can't count him out.
I'm going to go with Moussa Diaby. I really love that first time finish. It was like half volley, very awkward. Very easily could have sent it. 37th row. And then he put our boy Lockyer in a bad spot, and but it was smart. It was a smart pass.
Yeah.
I was either gonna go DC-L or EN''K. Calvert-Lewin or Nketiah.
Okay.
I think I'll give it to Nketiah just because my doubt on him going into it, and then just showed a couple ways he can score brilliantly.
Yeah.
Very impressed.
That was his little coming out party, you could say.
Very impressed, Eddie.
Alrighty, let's move to the stinker of the week. I'm gonna let y'all take this one away first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tom Lockyer. I'm a huge fan of this guy.
Wow.
But I'm gonna hold my guys accountable.
Yeah.
He just did not get it done. And like I mentioned earlier, fell for the weakest fucking pump fake from Jack McKinnon I've ever seen in my life. I wish guys
got
fell
no
for
respect
pump
for
fakes.
John McGinn.
I wish guys fell for pump fakes like that in high school soccer in Louisiana.
Vanessa would have had a few more goals.
Yeah, I would have had a few more goals. But yeah,
stiff hips can get goals like that.
I'm Lockyer from him. Who you got, Meeks?
I'm going Bruno Fernandes. I hate that guy.
Wow.
I hate him.
Yeah.
God, I hate him. Yeah. I would hate him even more if I was a Man U fan.
Very understandable. I'm going to follow suit. I'm going to go Erik ten Hag. I think that while you can put a lot of blame on the players, it's down to the manager to set the players straight. And he's completely lost this locker room. I don't think that anyone –
I don't think there's anything that's –
I don't know that they respect him. He hasn't established a style of play for this team yet, which I think – I don't think you can 100% – you can blame the players, but at the same time, can you really? Because how are they scoring goals? I don't know. I don't think they know. And with the lineups that he's putting out, he's not helping them at all. He's not really giving them a concrete play style to go by, and he's not giving them any help with the lineup. I get that they're hurt and stuff, but I don't think that he's a bad coach, but I think if you throw anyone into this United situation, they would do a bad job, but he's not making it any better for himself. He's buying players that are shitty, and he's putting the wrong lineups out in games that obviously fucking matter. I don't think they care about. They lost 3-0 to a B team Newcastle backline and goalkeeper, and they played Regulon in this game, but not against City. It just doesn't make much sense to me. It's not adding up, but yeah, I'm gonna go Ten Hog for my stinker of the week. And then let's move to the player of the month of October. I'll start it out here. I'm gonna go Pedro Neto.
Wow.
Probably not going to see him for a few months now, so I really want to give him his flowers for the first 10 games of the season. I think he's been for sure a top 5 player in all of the Premier League. He's got Wolves sitting 12th in the Premier League right now. He's willed this team that we all thought was going to get relegated, if we're being honest, to a pretty good position. And yeah, he's leading the league in assists. He's creating tons of stuff for his team, and he's got him sitting in a great spot. Pedro Neto, player of the month.
I hope he stays healthy. I would like Wolves to finish higher than we thought.
He looked great in black and white stripes.
My player of the month is a guy who there's been this one guy. There's been these 2 or 3 guys. One of them's hurt. One of them just went to Bayern Munich, and one of them's still doing his thing. But now there's a 4th guy, to me, who's right up there with Mo Salah for just most consistent. You can just trust him. And so I gave Heung-min Son some kind of, I think I gave him player of the week last week or some whatever big, something a little bigger than that. But I'm going to keep giving it to him because
I think you might have given him player of the month last month.
No, I gave that to Madison last month.
Okay.
But yeah, still a Spurs player. The Spurs are doing what they're supposed to do.
They really are, man.
I love
still undefeated.
Yeah. After having a poor end of last year and first couple games of this year,
I think it was just the first 2 that he
yeah.
Once they put him in the middle, man, he's been unplayable.
So consistent. Gotta give it to him.
You got Deuce.
Son's a good one. We already give enough praise to Salah, so I'll go and give it to Szoboszlai. Great October. Great purchase, like we've all said. Not much more to say. He's part of the reason Liverpool are back. Huge part.
Underrated part.
Alrighty, and then the last middle segment that we're gonna do, we'll put up a little. Hopefully, Miguez, we'll get you to put up a little like table thing, maybe like somewhere in here.
That's easy. That doesn't get copyrighted.
Yeah, so we'll put a little table update, but we're gonna have just a few questions, nothing serious, on our little table update for this time. So we've all got the table in front of us. How many games won, drawn, lost, goal difference, points, their last 5, and then their next 3, all that. So the first question is going to be, in the next 5 weeks, who do you think the biggest riser will be out of these teams? I'll start it off. I think Crystal Palace is probably going to be the highest riser. Their next 3 games, Burnley, Everton, Luton, I think that they could definitely get some points out of those games. They're finally getting back healthy. I think Eze should maybe be coming back for some of those games. But yeah, I could definitely see them jump up from 13th probably into that 8-9 range.
Yeah, they're definitely the team with the most room to rise. There's nobody below them with an easier schedule. Over the next couple games, they would make the most sense. God, and then as far anybody above them, there's honestly no room. I mean, Man United plays Fulham, Luton, and Everton next 3 games. And do I see them making a huge jump from number 8 to whatever? I don't.
Yeah.
Now, 4 games from now.
They could get involved. They could get up to maybe Villa or around Villa. I mean, they could jump
3-4 weeks.
right into Newcastle.
3-4 weeks from now is Man United's really probably only chance to sniff top 4 all season.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Looking at this table, the first thing I did was look for the 3 teams that have Man U in their next 3 games. So I'm just go ahead and say Wolves because they're in great form too. So
yeah, I think Wolves.
They're not playing Man U. Sorry.
They got Sheffield, Tottenham, and
Pedro
Fulham.
Neto's hurt.
I take that back. I thought they played Man U. Let's go with Everton.
I like that.
We're playing your Crystal Palace team. I think Everton are playing a little better than Palace right now.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, man.
Good shot.
All right, let's go to the second one. Who do we think is going to have the biggest drop in the next 5 weeks? I think it's going to be Chelsea.
It easily could be Chelsea.
I think it's going to be Chelsea because of Chelsea's schedule coming up. But it also could easily be Newcastle. It could easily be Newcastle. We've got Arsenal this weekend, Bournemouth in between, but we're going to have European game in between that. We're still in the Carabao, so we're going to have another midweek game. We're going to have a shitload of midweek games. I think that and especially with all the injuries, man, if we had Target go down today, so now the defense, not as much depth. I think we could definitely slip up with Champions League and everything going on.
It should by all means be Chelsea or Brentford.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Brentford, West Ham,
He's
Liverpool.
got a tough 3 games coming up.
Yeah,
and I'm really glad they took care of business these last 2 games. Well, not to say beating Chelsea's taking care of business, but they got 6 huge points. They got 6 huge points. That was a little disrespectful. I didn't mean that, but
it just depends. It really just depends on how often we redefine taking care of business.
Yeah, it just kind of came out of my mouth. Honestly, I wouldn't even
I feel like that's taking.
Wasn't because they played Chelsea. That would have been funny, honestly.
I don't even feel disrespected. Is the crazy thing.
Yeah, it should probably be one of those 2 teams though. They have space to fall down. They got Wolves and Everton behind them playing good ball. So,
Everton after week 5, I think we were still on the Everton's going down shit.
Yeah. Turnaround.
Claps for Everton.
Yeah, claps for Everton, man. Our last one we had a question about Sean Dyche getting fired. So
yeah,
big turnaround, big turnaround. Definitely not getting fired.
We had one guy who was
adamant that he should be fired. Question 3: can you see anyone in the current top 5 slipping out in the next 5 weeks? Gonna be a little bit tough to do because they got a 5-point cushion, but I think if any team was to slip out, I'd say it'd be Villa, and I think if any team was going to replace him, I'll go with Brighton.
Yeah, it should definitely be
5
Villa.
points between 5 and 6.
Yeah, there's a good little the last 4 teams. There's a 4-point gap between them and like 17 and 16, and then there's a 5-point gap between 5 and 6.
Yeah, I mean that makes the most sense going with Villa, and then Brighton. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah. Let's move to the last one. I actually have one more after that though. But out of the current bottom 3 teams, can you see any of them staying up?
No.
I would say yes. Luton.
I think Luton's got a shot.
I think they've got a shot.
All right, now all it's left to do is predict what's going to happen in game week 11 of the Premier League. First game, Fulham Man United. I got 1-1. I got Scott McTominay and Willian trading screamers. Adam also went 1-1.
I'm gonna go 1-1.
2-1 Fulham.
Wow.
Good shout.
Gotta start getting ballsy with these if we're gonna catch Miguez.
Yep. Brentford West Ham. I went 1-0 West Ham. Adam went 2-1 West Ham.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Peas.
2-2.
All right. Burnley Crystal Palace. I went 1-0 Crystal. Adam went 1-1 Burnley.
I'm gonna go
Scrappy point.
I'm gonna go 0-0. Wow.
0-0 Burnley?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 1-0 Crystal Palace.
All right. Everton, Brighton. I'm gonna go 2-0 Brighton.
2-1 Brighton.
Adam's going 2-1 Everton.
2-1 Brighton.
3-1 Brighton.
All right. Bournemouth at Man City. I went Man City 3-0. Adam
I did
went
the
Man
same.
City 4-0.
4-1 City.
I got 3-0 with you, Meeks.
Bunch of classic City lines. Let's see. Wolves at Sheffield. I got Wolves 1-0. Adam has Wolves 1-0.
Wolves 2-0.
Wolves 2-0.
Arsenal at Newcastle, going up to St. Lames Park. I went.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
I went 2-1 Arsenal here. Adam went 3-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal. With the Nketia screamer to end the game.
Ooh.
It kills me to do it. 2-1 Arsenal.
Wow.
Oh.
I just listen. We the midweek game. I mean, we played a lot of our backup people,
Jello.
but Miguel Almiron had to come in the third minute, had to play the whole game. So I think that because of that, I think it's going to hurt us. And I think Arsenal will have that step on us. So yeah, 2-1. They did lose today to West Ham though, so who knows?
They did.
Tough atmosphere at SJP.
Anyway, let's go. Villa.
I'm going to change mine. 2-2.
All right. Villa at Forest. Went 1-0 Villa. Adam seems to have gone 2-2 Villa.
I'm gonna go 1-1. I think Villa comes down to earth a little bit.
So you're going 1-1 Forest.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Villa. I don't think that Villa played a game today. If I'm not mistaken. Nottingham didn't get a shot on goal until the last kick of the game. Villa's riding a high right now. I think Villa 3-1.
3-1. Liverpool going into, what is it, Kenilworth Road at Luton Town?
Yep, I think so. You see the people take some baths walking in this stadium.
3-0 Liverpool. Adam went 3-1 Liverpool.
5-0 Liverpool.
Woo! That's ballsy. 4-0 Liverpool.
Here we go.
I think this will be game of the week, if not the Newcastle Arsenal.
Chelsea at Tottenham is going to be 2-0 Tottenham.
Ooh, wow. Realistic. What did Adam say?
3-1, but
Adam said 2-1 Spurs.
2-1 Spurs.
I'll go 3-1.
I'm going to go 2-1 as well. This or Newcastle should be game of the week, like I said, but I think it's really just going to come down to what the refs want. So, as it has in the big games this year. But
we don't win. I want 2-0. Come on, Spurs. All right, that'll wrap it up for us. Comment, like, subscribe. Most importantly, comment.
Love
and
those
then subscribe
comments.
if you don't mind.
Love those comments, man.
Love the comments. If you comment
Luke
something
gets
decent,
so excited, man.
We will probably talk about it.
Yeah. Give us a good question. We'll throw it in.
We've had fun. Hopefully we'll have a guest appearance or two next week. See y'all next week.
Well, lads.